Yo, 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 yo. What up, my homies? We're back. You can't hold us down for long. At all. Come on. The universe tried. But here we are. Back at it again. Variate Podcast. Wild Magic is here. A lot of talking about it for the past few years, if you've been listening. A lot of talking about it. But now it's here.
Yeah, long time coming.
It's always been here. It's just a vibration that we were able to tap into so deeply that we went out and we were able to capture it. And now we're putting it out. Fuck all the middlemen. It's out there. It's ready. Wildmagic.tv.
Would you expect anything less from us?
I mean, come on. This is what we do.
We're like, how can we make it available as soon as possible?
Yeah. Yeah, so we had a really big screening out at Psychedelic Science 2025 in Denver, and we said, let's just use this as an opportunity to softly let this dreamboat set sail. Let's take it out of dry dock. You got to let the dreamboat out of dry dock, you know. We made sure it's seaworthy. It's very seaworthy. So now it's time for the smooth sailing that is wild magic. So it would really mean the world to us if you would purchase a copy.
Should we drop the trailer here?
Yes. Yeah, this is it's a perfect opportunity for you to, for the next 90 seconds, get a little taste of what wild magic is. So here's the trailer.
What really is magic? What's sacred space? And what does it mean to be blessed?
Glittering light surrounded our sight.
Snumcula, Erigwithidon, Pembulon, Nimno Aguarctes.
Dark wants to take us, but light wants to take us too.
Pay attention to the subtleties of spirit. Like butterfly wings just barely touching your cheek. Poof.
You're not the self, and yet you have a myriad of selves.
Eternity!
I do some wrong. Police follow me. I don't follow police. Police hail me.
You can really bring in your dreams and start living them.
When the veil is removed, you realize how perfect everything is.
Huh?
Thank you for being into craziness.
That's what's up. Boom.
For real, no, for real.
It wasn't that special.
Really great trailer.
Really dope trailer. Edited by our, talented collaborator of over 20 years, Kathy Gatto, out of Atlanta, Georgia. Hire her if she's even available. I don't know. It's hard enough for us to hire her. So good luck. Cool. Well, we're here. We were down for the count after Psychedelic Science. Caught the Wook flu out there.
It was bound to happen, especially when I get a little cocky and I'm like, I never get sick, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, there it is.
I know.
Well, that's what you gotta say. It's all the universe heard was get sick. It didn't hear never get sick.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, oh, I'm supposed to get sick now?
Yeah, well, I became aware of it to the point where I was saying to the family, I was like, yeah, we've been doing great. No one ever falls ill in this house. Like, we're really taking care of each other. We're looking out. We eat right. We do everything good. And it's paying off with good stretches of just great health. And then we came back from Denver, and we're still dealing with it. This is like, we've been back for 9 days, and this is like the first day maybe we could even possibly do a podcast.
Knock on wood, but I think the family has stayed healthy too. So
yeah.
It was one that I was like, I do not want to spread this to anyone.
Yeah. I really don't even know what it is. I've heard rumors of some really nasty stuff, and I don't even want to think about what it is we had. It wasn't COVID, I know that. Something that felt very flu-like. But necessary humbling, and get it out of our system, and alert our immune system that we don't want to go through that again, so let's get strong.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's a really good reminder. When you go through it, you're like, all right, I probably need to take better care of myself, so that, like, there's a marked difference between how I experience this sickness and how you experience this sickness. And it was also humbling and kind of embarrassing to be like, wow, I just really let that take me out in a way that Sean's a lot stronger than I am.
Why do you think that?
You exercise and are more disciplined about moving your body or doing anything for yourself, or drinking water, or taking whatever supplements we decide are in our regimen of supplements.
You're not against any of that stuff. You just don't do it. Or you forget, or you watch me do it and you're like, that's cool.
We're not crazy. We just like, the things that they tell you to do, B and D and stuff like that. And
yeah.
I forget, so.
Yeah, like when we're out in Denver and we're around so many people, I was really, I wasn't feeling sick, but I was like, it could happen. So I was like doing a black seed oil down my gullet.
Colin turned us on to that one.
Yeah, shout out to Colin. A little black seed oil, just like, the Chilcagwe spray, just like little things. It's just like, oh, let's be mindful. I had a million conversations that were very loud and in my face, and I don't know which one of them was the thing that broke the tide, but one of them did. I don't know. I have no idea, but
it was worth it. That's ultimately.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
And it was perfect timing, because we could have gotten sick before we went out there.
Yeah. Oh my
so
Lord.
All you have to do is we're very grateful.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting for us to now finally be able to share the movie that we've been working so hard on for so long, and kind of like in dribs and drabs, kind of like been shouting out different people. And God, I mean, what we do for a living is the best thing in the whole wide world. We get to go talk to people who have something to say and wisdom to share, and we get to essentialize it and spend time with these people, and then take what they share with us and amplify it and give it a color correct, thanks to our buddy Calvin Liu, and make it sound great, thanks to Calvin Pia
and Noah for the score,
and Noah Lampert for accelerating the feelings with a really wonderful score, and work with really incredible musicians who shared songs with us. And it's really just the best life of my lives to devote my time and attention to capturing these moments and then amplifying them.
Yeah.
And I feel like of all the movies we've made, this one is the most charged and beautiful. And we a lot of times we'll be like, okay, we did a dark one, now let's do a light one. We try to balance it out. Or we did something very specific, now let's like be expansive. And I don't know, this one feels like a long time coming. And if anyone's enjoyed all the free movies we've put out, what you'll see is, if you take the dive and buy the ticket, take the ride, as we like to say, you'll see a lot of our other movies in this movie. You keep calling it a magnum opus, but there's all these moments throughout the film that you could be like, oh, there's Black Bike Week, or there's this. And that was especially true of our last one, which not our last one, a more recent one, American Sunset. That was our 4th of July one. Hint, hint, if anyone wants to visit that one.
Yeah.
This time of year. That kind of had a lot of that feeling too, of like, oh, there's the Bowler, there's the Black Bike Week, there's American Juggalo,
there's Oxiana,
and
but then somehow it's its own unique thing that stands apart from those.
Yeah, no, what I really like about making movies with you is you're never trying to recapture a magic. You're chasing a new muse and honoring a new subject in a new way, and there's no formula. So it's very exciting to see what becomes of these projects. And for me, the shooting this one after with Joey, it's just I feel like Joey would agree, and everyone who shot with you and for you would agree that it's like, I don't think there's a director that you trust more to take what you did and make the most of it. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Some pretty big name cinematographers have trusted me in that way. And
Well-
I've certainly fucked with them. Yeah, in the sense of like, they're like, you're going to leave that lens change in there? You're going to leave that iris pull in there? Like, I could barely find focus on that shot. That's in the movie? It's like, yeah. It's actually an important part of signaling to the audience that we're not striving for some superhuman perfection, but we're very human.
Well, I think one of the things was that got me in those self-conscious moments that I had with seeing the edit of this one and being part of the edit for this one, and maybe some of the shots that I'm like, really, that shot, is you and Kathy being like, that's the shot that shows you that this isn't AI, that this isn't perfect, that this is a real experience, that this is a bumpy ride,
Yeah.
you know, and that life is a bumpy ride, and it's not precious and perfect, and I really appreciate that. But it's such a, I feel, I always forget all aspects of filmmaking, but every time we go to a new project, we're like, wait, how do you do this again? And because everyone feels so different.
Yeah.
But then when you release it, you're also like, wait, how do we do this again? How do we get people to see? And everyone is its own challenge. And then you also remember, oh yeah, there's a huge vulnerability that comes along with having spent time on something and then being like, oh, now it can finally be received, but then just like the tension that the body can hold.
Oh, yeah. I'm going through it.
I know you
yeah,
are.
Yeah, you know.
Well, that's
you
why
know.
I'm asking you about it.
Well, like, it's weird in comparison to this feeling of releasing it and everything it brings up. Making them is so easy. It's such a pleasure, if you think about it. Because where's the pressure? Who's it going to come from? It's just on us. Like, that's no big deal. Like, it's okay. We're just going to go have fun and try to capture something beautiful. And hopefully that day we got something. Mm-hmm. And most days we did. And then, you gather all these disparate points of light, these little cracks in the dark narrative that we're fed where light pours through, and trying to capture enough of those and then get back in the edit and have fun seeing who belongs together and how they can contextualize each other and teach you a movie that's teaching you how to watch the movie as you're watching it, a movie that's teaching you how to listen deeper as you're listening. And those experiences are so fun for me to craft, and it comes so naturally to me. And what doesn't is this part of it. Where it's like we literally have to beg you, like we cannot stress enough how important it is to our well-being.
Emotionally more than anything.
Yeah, our emotional well-being, but I could take it further and say for the perpetuation of independent cinema, how important it is that people throw us a bone. We rarely ask for it. Very, very, very rarely. All of our stuff's free. Films that cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars that really should be behind paywalls are not. We've, I've made a good living being a commercial director and getting gigs and keeping it moving and, getting into the Marvel universe and all of this stuff. All of that money, and I shit you not, all of that money has been poured into these projects. And I think hopefully one day Wild Magic will be out there for free in some way. But we can't do it right now. We have investors on this one, and we have to pay them back.
Yeah, very bold, generous investors who are like, we want to see this project, and we're going to give you money to do it, with the idea that, like, we will recoup some of that money. So that's what we're doing now.
Or die trying.
Or die trying, exactly. So this is not money that goes right into our pockets. This is money that goes into investors who took a chance on us. And it tells them, it was a good idea for you to invest in wily filmmakers.
Yeah.
And if you want to see movies like we make, and you want to see more of them, because if those investors get this money back, maybe they'll be like, all right,
take a chance on some other motherfuckers like us.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be us.
Yeah.
And literally, even if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to buy their stupid movie, buy someone else's. Help a brother out. Help an artist out. It's so much more worthwhile. The small investment you could make towards an artist, because they make the world more beautiful. That's what we're trying to do, at least, is trying to make the world a more connected, more beautiful place. That's what we're trying to do with our art. And we're trying to stir something deep within people. And it's not just content, content makes people content. And art stirs something really deep within someone's soul. And we've never had a project, I think, that really kind of comes through on that promise more than this one.
Yeah.
And it was such a pleasure making, because it made us as much as we made it. And anyone that's been listening for the past couple of years very much knows of this, of the lore behind Wild Magic.
But if you haven't been listening, what I can say is this film is an initiation into a more magical way of seeing the world. And every time I watch it, which has been hundreds of times at this moment, is someone else speaks to me. It's like a living oracle deck. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I needed that reminder. I needed to hear that. I needed to feel this. So I'm just so grateful for myself that we made this movie, because now I get to enjoy this movie.
Oh my God. It like you're saying, it stirs something different in me each time, and I cry. I cry every time I watch it. Isn't it? That's crazy. Like, I've never watched one of our movies more, if you think about it.
Well, do you want to share that you had a baptism of tears very recently about this project?
Yeah, much necessary. I was struggling, we can get into it. Maybe we'll get into it more in detail on the Patreon episode, patreon.com/churchofchill. We'll go into like the beat by beat of what Denver was like and everything, and we'll have fun, telling some stories. But when we came out of that, and then it was like, okay, it's time to really start getting the film out there, and then this sickness was humbling us, so that added a layer. And I don't know, I think I was just ignorant of the fact of how much pressure I was putting on myself for all these years, really pretty much since we invoked the title Wild Magic. It came with a lot of pressure. It came with a big price. Something that cool. I think that cool of a container. Of course I'm gonna grab it. Of course I'm gonna heist that from the zeitgeist, as Michelangelo says. Of course. Of course I'm gonna take it. I didn't even think about the toll. I didn't even think about it. If anything, I think about the positive toll of it. This is gonna help me evolve. Mm-hmm. This is gonna help me hear some things I need to hear and experience some things I need to experience. But I didn't realize the heavy weight that I was carrying for so long. And then this sickness was humbling me, and I've just felt clouded. I couldn't think about how to do this. How do you get somebody to buy a thing? God, that's impossible. Our Patreon's only $2 and people won't do it. It's how do you get someone to buy a thing? Our Patreon has so much ridiculous amounts of content on there, and the barrier to entry is $2.
Well, I think it's also...
And thousands of people watch and listen to this podcast every week, and tiny fraction of them make it over there. So I'm how... it just felt daunting. And it felt why would anyone care? And it just plays to the worst parts of people, of me. I can only speak to myself, and as an artist, it literally, all those negative thoughts and insecurities and stuff that just might be part of my ancient programming, they all form into this dweller on the threshold that's just you bitch. No one cares. No one's going to care. You're going to disappoint them. They're not going to like it. And even if they do, you're not gonna be able to pay back your investors. And even if you do, they don't care. You know, like just all this stuff. Like all this stuff is just stories and negativity, and like it just came all up to the surface, and it was really getting the best of me. And I basically had a spiritual crisis that lasted a few days. I think I'm on the other side of it, but I don't know.
We're still treading lightly.
We're still treading very lightly. And I appreciate you as my partner, like recognizing that and understanding me, and taking notice when I'm like, please tread lightly right now. Like my soul can't handle any additional, like, trust me. The inner
this is
conversation.
not the ball busting time.
No, this is not the time for any kind of like just fun, light humiliation, or there's nothing. It's not like I'm too
light humiliation play.
I'm way too tender-hearted, and I just didn't realize how much all this was weighing on me.
Yeah.
And it was I was really getting spun. I was so spun that I was sitting there telling you like I was Santa Claus, like, oh, I have a list. Oh, there's been some naughty ones on my list, like some people that have really let me down. You know, and I'm like sitting there giving you the list, like, hey, why hasn't so and so said anything about this project or tried to help us, or like what the fuck? I've given this person jobs. I've helped them out. I was there for them. I did men's work with them. I gave them drugs. You know, I took them in. I let them crash on my couch for 18 days. And I'm like going through and just like, man, that was feeding this dweller on the threshold. Really was. And so all this is going on, and I'm physically just spent. And we can't leave the house, and we can't be around our friends, and like that's what I needed. I needed to just be around community and our people, and just I couldn't. And I woke up one day, and I was just really, really, really down. And you were like, I think it would help you if I read you some of the reviews.
Well, I asked you. I was like, I almost was like, how could you feel this way? Don't you see that people are watching and enjoying the film? And you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't know. I assume no one's seen this yet. I assume no one cares.
Have you read the reviews that people have left?
Yeah, and I said no. And the sad part is, I don't know how to read. No, I'm kidding. So you read them to me. And god damn, man. Just, yeah, people get it. Like, what was I thinking? This project so speaks for itself. Like, it so speaks for itself that it pulls out, like, the best words in other people. Yeah. And you're reading me them, and especially, the one that broke me was a comment from our friend Lauren, our dear friend, Church of Chiller, space camper, and I guess fellow cinephile. I think we're turning some people into cinephiles.
Totally.
And she just wrote every word of every comment was like just like unbelievable, but something about what she said really it broke me. And I was able to be I was able to cry in a way I hadn't in years. Like when I say the film makes me cry, it makes me like well up and a couple tears will come down. This was like, I don't know. When was the last time you saw me like that?
I wonder if I've never seen you cry like that.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
You always say, Cass, if I could cry, I would cry.
Yeah.
And then I just like saw you cry.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. You're a beautiful crier.
Oh.
Kind of like how you're a beautiful laugher. I love your laugh.
Yeah, you film me sometimes.
I know,
when you see me.
Because you hit this like belly guttural giggle that and you cry when you laugh so hard.
Yeah.
You like kind of hyperventilate and cry, and it's just my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But seeing you like well and after having felt you in the molten lava of life, just
the wrath of my intensity.
The wrath of your intensity is like, but to see it kind of break and the flood open, and you just have some realizations. And say, I wish my sister could see this.
I do.
Yeah.
My sister Erin, who passed away when she was 15, I never thought about that in this whole process.
Or probably with any of the other movies.
No. It never came up.
You weren't like, my sister Erin really should have seen Oxyana or
Yeah,
whatever.
totally. She never got to see any of my movies. She just got to see a guy that was like struggling to find his way. But she loved me, and she was, of anyone in my family, a tight-knit family and extended family, was like me and got me and had that like the sense of humor about life, and just understood things on a deep level, and just she had such character at such a young age. It's almost like she knew she wasn't long, or her soul knew it wasn't long for this world, so it developed so deeply, so quickly. And, like I'll still visit her grave, and we put a poem that she wrote on the back of her grave, and it's just so beautiful, and it's just about like how she wants to be more patient and more loving, and just like beautiful words from a 15-year-old. And, it just kind of hit me that I really wish she could have seen this one. And then I was like, she made it. She was with me all the way. I realized, I was like, who are these people? How did we find all these people? We felt the whole time there was like, it was being divinely guided, and as much as it was guiding us towards certain people, it was guiding us away from other ones, and I'm like, what was that? And the only name I know to put on it is Erin Patricia, my sweet little sister. God rest her soul, And I hope she's somewhere and is proud of me and sees what we were able to accomplish, because it was a heavy energy to carry for years. And I didn't realize it until that moment, until like the levees broke and I had the baptism of tears, that I was carrying a really, really heavy energy. And it made me relate with the human race a lot more, just the acknowledgement that I'm struggling right now. This has been heavy. I'm scared. I'm scared this won't succeed. And I need help from my angels, and that life is very humbling, and that life is very temporary. And just all of this stuff came flooding in from some comments on the internet from some really sweet souls who heard the call when we were like, we need people to buy this and review it, and we need you to tell people about it. And I know it's a lot to ask, and I know it might be a fool's errand for a lot of people, but I don't know how else to get the word out.
And we're still there. We're at this place where people are going to come across this page and see this trailer and go to the Vimeo and look at the comments and decide whether or not they want to take the ride. And if you took the ride and you're glad that you did, any sort of comment really helps, because I know that I look at everything before I buy it. I'm like, wait, who liked this? Did they like it?
Mm-hmm.
What am I getting myself into? Is it worth the money?
Yeah.
So it really, really helps us so much. And I do believe that your devotion to putting out so much free films and content and stuff, I have to believe it's afforded us some goodwill for people to want to support this movie in particular, because its features are a whole different beast than shorts.
Oh yeah.
And we spent multiple years and hired real professionals,
mm-hmm.
and paid them real rates.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we did everything that we could ourselves, like me shooting the film, to cut our costs down.
Yeah.
So we
driving everywhere
like
maniacs.
We literally made it for as little as we could make it.
Yeah.
But it still costs money.
Yeah.
And and it's a beautiful film, and I really feel like it's a gift of one. So I maybe you want to buy it for someone else.
Gift it to somebody.
I don't know how that works, but it feels like you should be able to do that.
Yeah, totally. And it's cool, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a pleasure to have a life where like there's pressure on you. Like I'm good in that situation. Like I know I just described a whole scenario where it's like I was folding under pressure, but I'm pretty good.
Well, I think it's good for us because a lot of times, like with American Sunset, and it's like you share it on Instagram and you do this and you're like, all right, well, I have no idea how to share this movie beyond that. So it's
Yeah.
just gonna like hopefully finds its way in the algorithm and get picked up at some way and ride a crest of a wave, which a lot of our films have and continue to. Like Florida Man and Oxyana get and American Juggalo thousands of views every day.
Yeah.
And
But then we have a bunch of other films that are like our Little Rascals.
yeah.
You know, that kind of still need a little bit of
TLC, but I think
Yeah.
our like the flame under our feet or whatever, being like, oh, you know, you need to stick with this one and help it and pass out postcards and share the word is gonna make it so more people see it, and that's a beautiful thing. Like, it's gonna force us to engage with it, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And if you want stickers, I will send you stickers for free. Just text me, email me, anyone who writes a review, especially.
Oh yeah.
Send me
It
your
goes
address.
so far, you have no idea. Even if it's just getting your boy to cry for the first time in years, it really does.
Yeah,
mean a
well,
lot.
I owe Lauren big time for that one.
Yeah, beyond that, she's just the sweetest person that's come into our life, and it's
No,
just,
everyone who's the reviews are very heartfelt, and it means a lot.
well, to see that something that we made and we were so personally involved with for so long affect people the way it affected us is like literally that's the moment. Like when you read me those reviews, I was like, whew, okay. I was like, okay, wow, all right, because it you know, it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard making movies. It's really hard making movies, and you know, making good ones is even harder. Like when you actually care.
And also making like wily ones, having the gusto and the boldness to be like, yeah, this is what this movie is. And
yeah, we're breaking the mold. Yeah, you might not have ever seen anything that was organized like this or put together like this, or really kind of just like
as free
pushed
floating.
you into an experience, or you know, it took off some of the fucking stupid ass documentary guardrails that are becoming so cliche, and you know, just training audiences to be dumber. And not allowing them the spaciousness to make the connections and draw their own conclusions. And I think, yeah.
I'd really like to continue to make this movie. It's such a weird thing to say, but it feels like it's there's room for these moments, maybe in a shorter form capacity, to continue to be shared, and because there's so many people, you know, we always kind of find ourselves talking to like the unexpected wise one, you know, but for it to be under the umbrella and guise of like, tell us about magic and how your life is magical and what it means to see the world magically, is like, what a fun one.
It brings out the best in people. And weirdly, like a lot of the people that we are in the movie, we never even said the word magic around them or anything. It was just like kind of like we met this person and we said, can we film with you? And they just were the thing. We didn't have to invoke it in any way. We didn't have to be specific. We didn't have to be on the nose or ask them, you know, really that or any questions. And to me, that's what wild magic is. It's just like, it's there. It's there. Just tap into it. And like, I know people have heard me say it a million times before, but like, I'm really obsessed with the pursuit of making films that are the thing, that aren't about the thing. I feel like that's a really bad place for documentary to be in, is that they're about things, you know, and it really pulls you into this level of just talking heads and expertise and over contextualization and too much information and just all this stuff that otherizes people and doesn't allow you to see yourself in them. And I think that's something like we really tapped into early on. Thank God. Like I found my voice basically when I met you. I think I found my voice with American Juggalo. I had made 4 films before that, but American Juggalo felt like the first real like spiritual journey through essentializing a community. and it helped me develop a lot of character by being around those characters, and that you and I in particular went into that experience as others and got lost in it, and right away we're like, damn, we thought we were coming here to make something about juggalos. We are juggalos, you know. We are them. And I was like, whoa, if making this film can affect me like that, maybe I could impart that on the audience. And it's little things like, we don't need to lower third and tell you who every person is or what this means or what, you know, like take away a lot of the stuff that I think coddles people into saying, oh no, it's okay, they're not you, they're very different from you. Here's their name, here's where they're from, here's their age. Just all of this just lame stuff that just like turns potentially good art into content and keeps that that otherization process going, you know. I feel like we're living in a time of where things just keep getting fractured, and to be able to see yourself in far out, fringy type of people is very healing. It's very healing. I think it expands your circle of compassion. I feel like if there's a medicinal form of cinema, we're trying to make it.
Yeah, totally.
We're trying to at least make it.
It affects me like that, so
yeah,
that's all I can say.
Yeah, but look, we made American Juggalo when I had just turned 30. We had just met. I had just turned 30, and I was trying to impress you. And I was trying to impress Hillary, our cinematographer, and Jeff Powers, our other cinematographer. And we were making a film about our friend Johnny Johnny Corndog at the time, called Stray Dog, and like I knew how to do those kind of films at that point. Like, okay, one man's journey. I was starting to get good at that. And while we were making that one, I remember Hillary and Jeff in the back of the van on one of our trips between places being like, "So what's the next one?" And this was January 2011, and I was like, the next one's American Juggalo. And they're like, what's that? And I'm like, I just like the title. I don't know. I just thought it was a funny title. What is it?
Well, Juggalos were a little bit in the zeitgeist at the time.
Just a little.
Tila
Tequila
Tequila
had just gotten like
pissed on or
her
something.
ass handed to her, and like just a disastrous onstage experience at the Gathering of the Juggalos. So it was like a TMZ story. Like, look what they did to this reality TV star. And I was just like, who the heck are these people? Because I've been scared of Juggalos since like 1998, and They were like, what is this? And I'm just like on the fly being like, well, we're going to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos and we're going to do the thing. We'll do like our heavy metal parking lots for Juggalos. But it's going to be really cinematic. And you know, like, this is why it helps that like I'm a good bullshitter. It is because it might start off as bullshit to just like kind of like placate my cinematographers, you know, or whatever. But then you start like, I'm like, what I'm doing is I'm rendering out a vision right now, and as I'm doing it, they're feeling it, and they're like, oh, I know how to translate that. We'll shoot it anamorphic, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, oh, we're already stepping into territory that most people wouldn't go. We're going to shoot this anamorphic. We're going to shoot this 2 cameras. We're not going to ask permission. And we're going to just roll in there and try to do it. And we did.
Literally.
Yeah. And I knew it. I was, I don't know. It's probably what a musician who's had a hit song in their back pocket feels like. Like, you just know it. You know it when it comes to you. You know it when you're doing it.
One of your most badass moments. And this is where there's this question of like, I always say like, you're a way better producer than I am. It's just like you have other things to do. But when we rolled up to the Gathering of the Juggalos, we didn't have tickets or anything.
Yeah.
And you were like, Cass, go do it or whatever. And I was like, I just like looked at you like a deer in headlights. And you're like, I'll do it. And so I wasn't there. What happened?
Well, what happened is we pull up on day one and we're in a white van and we like pull up to the gates, like the main gates where like any car camping juggalo is pulling up to. We just pull up in a white van full of people and like there are people taking the tickets are like, what are, and we're like, oh, well, we're the crew. And they're like, oh, go on through. And I'm like, I'm just going to do whatever here. I just pulled the van towards I just started driving towards the main stage, drove past the main stage, went backstage, parked with all the trucks, all of the VIP, the special bathrooms, this and that. I get out. I use literally Insane Clown Posse's bathroom. Come out. I'm like, all right, let's pull out the equipment. We start pulling out the equipment. Someone pulls up on a golf cart. They're like, who the fuck are you guys? We're like, we're the crew. You know, like you think I'm a fucking crazy person now. I was way crazier back then. Way crazier. I'm like, we're the crew. And they're like, haha, cute. Get the fuck out of here. Like literally, get the fuck out of this festival. You're not allowed here. And we're like, okay. So we just pull out and we go out to where you would need tickets. Like they kicked us out. So we're like, shit. All right, I guess I'll go get us tickets. And they were like, $500 each, and we have 8 people with us. I'm like, I don't have this money, so I literally just went into the ticket teller, like the box office chick, and I was just like, yeah, we're here. She's like, okay, what? And I'm like, the crew, you know, like we're making the movie, you know, American Juggalo. She's like, okay, and like just like, you know, you could. It was a Jedi mind trick. It really was, because it was so smooth. I couldn't even describe it right. It's not even. It was so smooth. It's barely a story. I was just like, we're here. We're the crew. We're making American Juggalo. She's like, okay, how many passes? How many are you in your crew? And I was like, there's 8 of us. Boop, boop, boom. 4-day passes. Here you go. On the house. Not a dime. And that was the impetus for us to stay away from the stage, because clearly the chick, I remember her. Do you remember her?
She was scary.
She was very scary. The chick that was like running the festival. We couldn't be seen by her. So we had to basically we were just like, all right, guys, don't go near the stage. Don't go backstage. Don't go anywhere near where the media is. And it really just forced us out amongst the people where the whole movie was going to take place anyway. And yeah, that was, you know, just literally tens of thousands of small miracles like that is what I look back at my career as, you know, including that week. Like, how did we find that one person at that one moment when they were spray painting their face? And that one person at that one moment as they did this, and like, holy shit. And you get back and you like just look at the B-roll, the slow motion B-roll, and you're like, what, Hillary? You got a guy throwing a bottle, and you got the perfect thing of as the carnival ride went by in the slow motion, and just unbelievable, just strokes of luck and miracles. And yeah, it really helped me find my voice, and also just knowing this was a hit while we were making it and while we were in the edit. And then being bold enough to be like, I know I have a hit on my hands. I know I could probably go get money from some place for this. And being like, all right, we finished the edit, throw it on the internet. And it changed our life. It really did. It changed our life, and it really...
making the movie changed our life more than the response and it leading to like having a career. Yeah, that changed our life. But like the experience of going to a space and feeling totally not judged, and all of a sudden these people that you were so scared of being like the nicest, most loving people, I'm like, it just taught me so much about life at a very young, important, impressionable age.
Yeah, you were 23.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, we can really dose the masses with this. We can really, this is really something. If we can affect people with the film, the way it affected us in real life, like we're really on to something, not only with this one, but as a career. Like maybe we, you know, tapped into something very special, and maybe we're the torchbearers now. You know, the people that we really love that came before us, like Les Blank and Ross McElwee and Errol Morris to a certain degree, like these filmmakers that I think are really important. I was like, maybe we could be one of them. And the response filling me with enough confidence to keep going, and in particular going forward staunchly independent, punk rock DIY style. Don't rely on anybody else. Own the projects yourself, and be able to have the option to put them out for free, because they'll impact a lot more people. And trusting that the universe will help provide me a living by just doing these acts of service for other people that care about seeing cool films. It really set something in motion. It set us up to make something like Oxiana, which really has nothing to do with the vibration we were tapping into on American Juggalo.
Not nothing.
Not nothing. I mean, the first frame of Oxiana is a man holding up a Juggalo shirt on a coat rack and saying, "This was my brother's, and he died. He was a Juggalo. He loved this shit, man." And he's like, I could still smell him on it. It's such a haunting image, you know. It might seem like a throwaway nothing when you're capturing it. Like he's showing us stuff, and then you pull out, "This is my brother's," and it's just like this image of the film starts with empty clothes of someone that's a lost soul, that you know, was sacrificed to the pharmaceuticals. So our film starts with the first thing you see in Oxiana is the Hatchet Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it pays homage immediately to the previous one. So when you say you don't want to stop making this one, I would argue that we've never stopped making one big film since we started out. And it's kind of like just like this giant pastiche or mosaic or quilt or something, and that, you know, like we are making one big film.
Yeah.
And it's what we love to do.
So far, it's just America, baby.
Yeah, well, I like it. I like that I'm not biting off more than I can chew, because like
just a whole 50-state country.
Yeah, I mean, documentary is our spiritual practice, and it saved our lives, you know, from becoming mindless consumerists, just bullshit people. You know, like it's deepened our relationship with our surroundings and our environments, and the nature here, the nature of this country, and people are nature. So it's tapped us into just a deeper appreciation and understanding of who we are through getting out there and finding the most wild ones that America has to offer. And not really trying to exploit them in any way. You know, I don't know, maybe some people could look at our films like that, but I certainly don't see it like that. I certainly look at some of the content that's out there that we get compared to, like Channel 5 and All Gas, No Brakes or whatever. It's just like a lot of people are like, have you seen these? Have you seen this thing this guy does? And it's just like, yeah, it's not cinematic. It's not, it doesn't feel like honoring something, you know, besides the advancement of an on-camera personality. We're not playing in the same field at all. He might go to the same event we would want to go to.
Well, that's why I always say, like, I'm glad he does that, but as far as I always want to see how Sean Dunn would do this, and sometimes we'll be like, oh, we took our idea to HBO and then they ripped us off or whatever, and we've had like weird moments like that. But then at the same time,
they couldn't rip
us off because they could never do it the way you would do it, and that is cool because there's endless stuff to explore and pay service to and essentialize and things to always learn. I do get a little spooked by AI, but I'm trying not to be.
I think AI
I just
makes
don't-
us more relevant. I
Yeah.
think people will be seeking this stuff out more. I think as AI perpetuates itself more and more, and just the internet just gets filled with just fake AI generated stuff, that people stumbling across the green pasture that is Very Ape and being like, what is all this stuff? And I see those comments come in because for some reason Oxyana will come up in the algorithm, and somebody will be like, oh, what else have they done? And then they just find this 20 films, music videos and podcasts, and that are real, genuine, local, organic, all that stuff, farm to table.
Well, and I feel like we're having like full circle moments where we started this film club, and we've done like 20 or something movies, and then we get to say now Wild Magic's one of these movies.
Oh man.
And it's like kind of cool to like build the context in which you want your films to be viewed. And we did a meeting the other day, if you're in the Church of Chill Patreon, we were like, anyone who wants to come like hear more some stories about the film, but also contribute to ideas, and I just was seriously blown away by our friends showing up and wanting to give us like their best and brightest ideas, which were all incredible. And it's like literally what we're enacting as our multi-phase distribution plan for this film.
We're in phase 1 of 4 phases.
We're in phase 1 of 4.
You're part of phase 1.
Yeah.
Please help us.
The podcast.
What we really need, that no one has stepped up on yet, because it's a tricky one, is Reddit. I think we got to infiltrate Reddit with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, Reddit posts are always great. We've had a lot of our films get to the top of our documentaries and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe someone could share the trailer, or hype it in whatever way it feels natural to them. But
And the reason we say that is because the way Reddit works is like a lot of these channels or the moderators really don't want to see you doing anything self-promotional. God forbid an artist goes out and says, please check my thing out, but they will delete your post if it comes from the person who made it. So when it comes from other people, it seems to carry a lot more weight. It feels less promote-y or whatever, and it is. So yeah, we're asking people to buy, rate, review, share, post on Reddit, post on your socials. If there's something we're not thinking of, we're very open.
I can send you a stack of postcards if you want to put them in your local coffee shop, or if you want to do a community screening. We find that if people like watch the film with a bunch of people, and we're down for that because maybe some of those people will spread it to other people or say, I want to own this film or whatever it is. So definitely encourage that. And
it'll be nice by the time we get to like phase 3, phase 4 of the rolling out of the film, that we're like over the hump of the having to be so financially focused. It just feels gross, but we have investors that really want their money back. We are part of the investment team on this. Like we had some friends throw in $60,000, but then we put in more than that. And we'll never even try to recoup that money, because once those guys get their $60,000 back, I can't wait to be like, can we just put this on YouTube, please? Please don't hold your breath for that, or be one of these people that waits. Like, it really, really, really matters.
You could be waiting a long time.
You could end up waiting a long time. We'll see. Well, I don't know. We're counting on a miracle and calling it in, and I feel like we shout out like the Archangel Metatron. We pray to him a lot, and we shout him out, and we ask him for things. And I just think that guy just he handles all the advanced calculus that I can't wrap my head around. So I feel like we're going towards something, and Metatron has us held in that way of like, I'll deal with the math. You guys just keep being good people and say my name every now and then, tell other people about me,
Wear me on a shirt.
It's right there on the shirt.
Also, I mean, I hope that you guys aren't getting tired of our self-promotion, but these are really cool shirts.
Yeah.
And we literally have to talk about how we get dressed in the morning because we're not at the stage where we wear the same Church of Chill or Wild Magic shirt, but that's pretty much all we wear because they're comfortable and they feel supercharged. I mean, I have Metatron over my heart, angel wings, surrounding my solar plexus, and intuition eye, and glittering light surrounds our sight. I mean,
it's a prayer.
We get to wear these prayers, and
this one has angel portals on the sleeves, Wild Magic logo on the front and on the back.
Ask, believe, receive. And Andrew Tamlin, Formless Informing, did these incredible designs. We've been working with him for a long time. On so many wonderful designs. So we got a bunch printed, but not that many. So if you want, and we don't like reprint these that often. And
we're realizing quickly what kind of merch makers we are. They're limited edition, one and only run pressings. So anytime we're shouting out a new shirt, there's literally like 40 of them available. And so this is our first time really kind of saying these are available.
I think I got 34 of these, so it's even less.
Yeah, so get down with one of these. But like what all this like talking about our career and everything reminds me is that that anyone can do it. Anyone can do what we've done. There's nothing particularly special. I think I think we have good taste, and I think that's what being young and uncool really like helped me in a lot of ways, because I developed really good taste. I listened to and I watched a lot of things, and I practiced a lot of discernment as to what resonated with me, because I was going through it as a young man. I had a really tough come up in life. Anyone that's been listening for years kind of knows those stories. But I developed good taste. But beyond that, like, no one gave me permission to do this. It's just...
No one asked you to do it.
No one asked me to do it. No one gave me permission to do it. And that continues to be the case with each individual project, you know? So the fact that we're still doing it is just a testament to our, I don't even know what you would call it. What would you call that?
Our devotion?
Yeah, devotion. Like we're very devoted. We're devoted to this practice, but there's nothing that would make us much different than anyone else. Like you could go about this on your own, or you could get together like a cool group of homies and like have a little artist collective that puts out cool stuff. And makes art and releases it under a certain name or whatever, because it feels like that's what we've been doing. And I would encourage people, because it's so fulfilling. And like when I say it's our spiritual practice, man, it's like psychedelics help accelerate and help. It's like one of the sacraments, but the spiritual practice is like, how do we continue to see the world in a compassionate way, and continue to see and reflect a world that we want to live in, that really, really, really needs to start to soften for people, because we are losing people en masse to deaths of despair. And we're losing people en masse to addiction, and we're losing people en masse to suicide. If you look at these numbers, they're off the charts. And I think a lot of people are struggling with darkness and are clouded with it, and myself included sometimes. And these are the things, more than anything we've ever talked about, this devotion to this practice, that we're going to make a film. And we're going to get our friends together, and we're going to get the right people together and the right collaborators together to do this, because we want to go out for 2 years and see the world as a magical place where miracles happen, where people heal, where people harmonize, where communities come together. We want to see that. And when enough people start to see that vision, it starts to coalesce, and it starts to melt the dominant paradigms by just creating a new, cooler one that we just begin to occupy. And there's been many there before us, but we are there, and we want to invite you to occupy this world with us. That's a better place than the media poisoning will ever let you feel. So, make the works of art that make your fellow human beings want to stay here and not give in to the darkness and not give in to addiction and despair and suicidal ideation, because it's so important, and there's stories in Wild Magic about this. There's a whole grief and death portal within it. Fair warning. But it's worth it. It's worth staying on this planet, and it's worth being good to each other, and it's worth invoking magic in times like this, where it seems like the everyman is getting crushed and is getting lost in the shuffle and is getting pulled out into a technological undertow that's just making people feel purposeless or behind the times. You're not. You're just like everybody else. We're all here together, and we need to start seeing that in each other. And that's the kind of artists we want to be, and it's not always easy. So help us do it. Wildmagic.tv is the place to do it. And if you have some creative way of spreading the word, or if you're a type of person who's like, I have a good amount of money, I can help them. No, I know it's funny. I don't want to laugh it off, though, because we have had benefactors come in and really save the day. If you're this type of person that's like, I have a good amount of money. I have more money than I need. $1,000 tip is not going to hurt us, If 60 people gave us $1,000 tip, we're good. We're good. Okay, it's over. We got these guys their money back, Let's hop over to the Patreon and talk about Psychedelic Science 2025. Holy smokies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The wildest nights of our life.
Yeah.
Look, here's what you have to look forward to if you want to hop over to part 2 of this episode on patreon.com/churchofchill. We're talking about celebrity encounters. We're talking about not only rubbing elbows, but being friends with and spending good time with some of our psychedelic heroes. We're talking about just glory on the dance floor. Just to name a few things. But also on our Patreon is part 2 of all of our podcasts. It's access to our Discord community, where all the most magical beings you could possibly find on the internet have amassed. And I do a weekly music mix, Church of Chill episodes. That's
They keep getting better. I don't know how he does it, but they keep getting better.
Well, I'm becoming a better curator. I'm 230 something episodes deep into that, a practice that I started in September 2018 in the wake of a heartbreak that we went through with a friendship ending. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to chill out my soul, so I invoked the term Church of Chill, and I said, what is that? And I said, well, if it's a church needs sacraments, so maybe the music is sacrament, And so, yeah, there's like an hour and a half to 2 hours of dope, curated, never a song repeated mixes out there for all your psychedelic and non-psychedelic adventures this summer. So join us on there. It really means the world to us. But what means a lot more to us right now is Wild Magic. So thank you so much for listening to us. We'll see you for part 2 over in the Church of Chill. Peace, love, and